Okay, Robert, let's go back here now. So the need to focus and then refocus, you say.
Right. In a lucid dream for beginners, oftentimes what happens is they become consciously aware they're dreaming, and then they start looking around the dream around them. And what happens is oftentimes they go back into normal dreaming because they get so involved in what's happening, they forget to remain consciously aware. So in a lucid dream, you have to consciously focus on a goal, and then once you achieve that goal, you have to refocus on a new goal in order to stay consciously aware, especially as a beginning lucid dreamer. Mm-hmm. So that's why I encourage people when they're new to lucid dreaming to focus on a goal, achieve it, then refocus on something else.
Interesting. So the mind gets bored, I guess, with the same thing and has to be
Right. You know, it's kind of like walking a tightrope, kind of like meditation. We know in meditation we can meditate and we can focus on a mantra or a syllable or something, but we can all of a sudden lose our focus and we're thinking about the laundry or what we have to do that day, and then we think, oh, we've gotten off target, and we go back to the mantra. And so you realize that you really have to focus and refocus and keep on that path in order to stay consciously aware in the dream state, or in that particular case, to stay conscious or aware in the meditation practice.
Well, I think just staying conscious seems to be a major force in our lives, because we have so many distractions, and just trying to stay conscious sometimes is a challenge. But being able to do this in your dreams, that has to take some directed focus, I think. You have to make that decision that's really what you want to do. Otherwise, I don't think that you would do that,
right,
automatically. I mean, you're going to have dreams for sure, but to purposely choose that. And I think fascinating that you have made this into a career. I think that's so fascinating.
Oh, thanks, Elaine.
Well, you never know. Of course, I've been doing this interviewing. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I think I started in 1990, so with television, and now 5 years with radio. It's just really fascinating to see the varieties of topics people choose to spend their life on. It's really very, very interesting. So you even talk about being able to do your meditating in lucid dreams. So,
I'm so glad you brought that up. So what happened is, after I'd been lucid dreaming for a number of years, I started to think about things that I had never done in a lucid dream. Mm-hmm. And one of those things I thought about was meditating. I had never stopped and tried to meditate when I was consciously aware in the dream state. So the next time I became consciously aware, I was walking down a path and I thought, oh yeah, I want to try meditating. So I sat down on the path, I crossed my legs in a lotus position, and I began to meditate. And all of a sudden, the scene in front of me, it was like falling stars. These bright flashes of white light were occurring in the visual place in front of me. And I thought, oh, wait a second, I should close my eyes and meditate. And then when I closed my eyes and meditated, it was like I suddenly had the most incredible sense of oneness with everything. Just in a matter of seconds, I had an incredible, profound feeling of transcendence and connection with everything, with all that is. And what I found is, in talking to other experienced lucid dreamers who had also tried meditating when they're consciously aware in the dream state, they too had that same sort of experience of just almost instantaneous connection with all awareness, and really a profound and deep moment. Mm-hmm. So you can do amazing things.
Well, you're talking even about how we word our things, the importance of wording. The first guideline is asking the dream. So talk about that.
Right. There was a lucid dreamer and an artist who decided he was going to use lucid dreaming to find artwork that he could recreate after waking up in the waking world. So what he would do is he would tell himself that tonight in my dreams I will become consciously aware and look for art. And so he'd become consciously aware, and he'd remember, oh, yeah, I want to look for art. And so he'd go all around the dreamscape looking for art, and it took him a long time to find the art because he was looking for it. So then he realized that he had to change the wording of his incubation. He had to say that tonight in my dreams, I'll become consciously aware and find myself looking at art. And as soon as he did that, he made that one change that he's going to be looking at art. He'd become consciously aware in the dream state, and he would find himself in a room looking at artwork hanging all over the walls. And so he realized how important it was, the words we use when we incubate a goal, when we have an intention, when we have a suggestion. We really have to concentrate on the word choice. And this gentleman, he would see these incredible artworks on the wall. He would try to visually remember one or two, and then he'd tell himself to wake up. And when he woke up, he'd start sketching it in his dream journal so he could paint it later that day. So it's really fascinating, but he realized that he had to tell himself to look at art and not look for art, because when he wanted to look for art, he'd spend the whole lucid dream looking for it.
Uh-huh. Well, it's interesting how one word can make a difference. Looking at instead of for.
It really can. It's
really
almost
does.
like an internet address or something. Just one little mistake will send you to a different part of the web, and so it's really important the words we use when we're consciously aware in the dream state.
That's true. So you talk about even having communications with the deceased.
That's right. Oftentimes all of us, probably throughout the course of our lives, we'll have occasional dreams where we'll see a deceased person. And the interesting thing, though, is that when you become consciously aware when you see a deceased person, well, then you can think about it a little bit more. You can decide what you want to do, and you can even have conversations. So this is what happened to me one time. My father had passed away about 5 years earlier, and one night I had a dream that I saw this ladder, and down from the ladder comes my dad. And the first thing, I started to laugh because he had such a bad haircut. And I thought, the poor guy can't even get a good haircut in the after-death state. And I became consciously aware because I recalled that my dad had passed away 5 years previous. So then I thought, well, wait a second. How do I know that this is my dad's spirit? Maybe it's my dad as a dream figure. Is it my dad's spirit or is it a dream figure? And so then I thought, well, how could I tell? And that's when I decided to ask my dad questions. And so we greeted each other, and I thought, okay, I go, Dad, you're from the land of the dead. When do you think Mom's going to pass away? And he told me. He goes, well, probably in 2 to 6 years. And that really surprised me. I go, well, what will she pass away of? And he goes, a heart condition. And then I asked him some more questions, and finally he got tired of answering them, and he told me, he goes, look, I've come to tell you things, and I need you to be quiet so I can tell you. And I remember him telling me that I had to be nice to one person. He goes, you do not understand her life, so it's not for you to judge her life now. And that really hit me because when I woke up, I realized that I had been kind of prejudging this woman, and I had to let go of it and meet her as she was. So anyway, as it turned out, in the waking world, 23 months later, almost 2 years later, as my dad predicted in this lucid dream, my mom went into the hospital with a heart problem, and she had never ever had heart problems before, and she almost passed away. And then almost 6 years later, she again went to the hospital, and this time she was having heart problems because she was taking a prescription medicine that was affecting the heart. Mm-hmm. So by doing lucid dreaming, this is another way that we can approach that question of, does the spirit survive death?